Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Big T Outdoor Adventures, but today we're indoors again. We are making today some Magnum Speedworms. Down here in Florida, we got a lot of lakes with eelgrass, hydrilla, kissimmee grass, you name it. We got a lot of grass down here. Bass like to hide down in there, and one of the best baits to use down here in Florida is the speedworm. You know, you have the regular speedworm 7-inch, no, I think it's 5-6 inch, and you got a 7-inch Magnum speedworm. I like the Magnum speedworm. It gets a lot of bites, either big bass, small bass, all the bass like that Magnum speedworm. So today we're going to be creating two colors. A candy June bug with a kind of like a chartreuse tail, and black and blue with a blue tail. That's kind of like what the two major colors. You could also do a green pumpkin with a chartreuse tail. So but today we're just doing the June bug and the black and blue. So let's get started. I poured my plastic. Today we're using for the speedworms. I like to use a little bit more medium plastic. It's made by Dead On Plastic. This is the swim bait jerk bait blend. For my my stick baits, especially because a lot of it gets used as wacky worms, I use the worm blend. It's a little bit soft. The worm blend's a little bit softer blend, so you want that in a wacky worm to get all that action. But in the speed worms, I like the little bit more medium plastic, just so it lasts a little bit longer, and I have no problem with hookup with the bass. So we're going to get this in the microwave. We're going to start out at 3 minutes, and then we'll get back. We'll show you how we mix everything. Alright, so we got our mold prepped. This is our core shot mold. So first what we're going to do is just pour the bodies, and then these rods block the plastic going into the tail, and then we take the rods out, and then we pour our chartreuse, which goes through the middle of the body of the worm into the tail. You just got to make sure you put worm oil on the rods itself. And then we just put that together, and while our plastic just got done with the first warm up, we'll see how it looks. Alright, mold's all ready. 3 minutes on the plastic. Not quite done yet. Get her stirred up there nice and good. We're going to put it in probably for another 30 seconds. Alright, so we got our June bug dye out there, and how we make it candy is this Lure Works pearl powder, and it's a violet pearl. So we just put a little bit of that in there, and that's kind of what brings out the, you know, the pearl effect, the candy effect, is what I call it, candy pearl. Okay. Up there nice and good. You can see the bubbles. Those are air bubbles. They're not bubbles from moisture in the plastic, so no need to vacuum the plastic. It'll be good. Just kind of let it settle a little bit, and those bubbles will just kind of pop. So I got about a cup and a quarter. This mold takes a lot of plastic because it's a Magnum size worm. So I don't really have, you know, many how many drops I put in. I kind of just put in like 3 circles, and then I'll stir it up, and then I'll go from there. Small circles, but you can see that June bug really, I mean, that's perfect right there. Stir it up nice and good. Yeah, that's a really nice color right there. Okay, from there, we're going to pour in just a little bit of this pearl. As soon as I find my little spoons. Okay. Just a little bit. I mean, not maybe like half. What is this quarter? I mean, it's just a little bit. Okay. You can see how it starts to make that pearl effect in there. We're going to hit it for another 30 seconds. While we're doing that, we're getting out our, June bug has some green glitter, so that's what we just do. I think this is, I'm not sure what size it is, kind of like a medium flake. All I use for my June bug color. We're pretty much done with the June bug color. We will put it up. We're done with the pearl, I believe. We'll put it up. Okay. Get that stirred up, and we'll be right back with the glitter. Alright. You can really tell that pearl in there. I really like that pearl effect to it. Really makes it glow, kind of gives a little glowing effect when it's in the water. And bass love it down here in Florida. Alright, 1/4 teaspoon. I usually like to do 2 for my Magnum. For just like a regular stick bait, which is probably 1. And you can see how far this goes. It'll go pretty good. Nice effect right there. It's really going to look good. Okay, we're going to hit it 30 more seconds. It's a little thick right now. Then we're going to shoot it into the mold. And then once it cures, it takes about 2 minutes to cure, 2 to 3 minutes. So we're going to pull the rods out, place the worms back in there, and then we're going to shoot our chartreuse. It's kind of like a little bit darker color than chartreuse, but it works great with this June bug color. Alright, give it one quick stir there. That's almost perfect. You want it around 330 to 350, no hotter than 350 you start burning the plastic. Okay. You can see that takes a lot of plastic. That's almost one tube full of plastic right there. Now given you will get some of that back with the runners and what's left in here. So we're gonna let that cure. Meantime, there's some stick baits I just did not too long ago. The candy pearl with the kind of like chartreuse tail to it. This is the worm mold. You can see this is a lot. I specialize in the wacky worms. It really gives it a lot of body there. That's what gives it the motion in the water. So there's my stick bait version. Now we're going to create the speed worm version. We'll be right back when this gets cured. All right, it should be cured by now. We're going to take this apart, show you how we do the core shot here. All right. So we pull out the rods here. Okay, these are your runners. These can go right back into the pot. Just actually pull your tails right off there. And just set it right back in there. Alright, set them in there. Put that back together. And now we're going to warm our chartreuse up. And we're going to pour our core shot. Alright, we got our chartreuse ready to go. This definitely won't take as much as what our last injection was. Okay. Shouldn't take much at all. Top it off there. Alright. Pour the excess in your cup. We're going to let that settle. Alright, we just poured another round of the candy June bug. We're going to do a couple rounds here before we lay the chartreuse tail. Look how great those come out. That's that chartreuse, or that's the candy purple color. Really great color. Works great down here in Florida. I'm sure in other parts of the country too, but in Florida works really well. Alright, pull the rods out of there. This is your core shot. Take your runners off. Alright, we're going to cut the tails. Just like so. Another thing I've used these for is I cut the tails off and I'll run these like a Magnum wacky rig. They work really good with a wacky rig, especially those big bass like that. So, all right, we're going to do just a few more rounds of the candy June bug, and then we're going to get right on to the chartreuse. Be right back. All right, so we're going to take our the base part of the speed worm, put it in the mold. You can see there's no tail in here. Took the rods out, so we're just going to put it all back together. We're going to shoot the chartreuse in it, and you'll see what the finished project is. Alright, we just shot the chartreuse in here. We're going to give it a couple of minutes, and then we're going to show you the finished product. Alright, it's been a couple minutes. Take this off and see the finished product here. There we go. Candy June bug with chartreuse core and tail. Alright, we're going to finish up what we have here, and then we're going to start on the black and blue. Alright, we just poured our black and blue using dead on plastic, just black. And there's your black and blue. We're going to cut the tails off and pour some just straight blue for the core and the tails. All right. Make a few more and we'll get the tails done. Alright, here's our tail color. It's kind of like a lightish blue. Again, this is Dead On Products. I think it's just blue. Boom. Dead On Products, blue. Alright. I did some stick baits just before we did these Speedworms, and this is basically what it turns out to be. Black and blue with the blue tail. Very popular down here in Florida. See, I got plenty of tails. This is a separate mold that you pour your tails, and then you attach them right onto your stick baits right there. So that's basically what it's going to be, just in the Speedworm. Alright, here is the finished black and blue Speedworm. Such a great looking worm. The blue tail really sets it off. This is going to work magic here in the Florida waters. So let's finish making these up and let's get out on the lake. All right, everybody, here's kind of what we did tonight. We did both candy June bug chartreuse, and we did black and blue with the blue, light blue tail. Both very popular colors down here in Florida. You run these, you find a good lake with some eelgrass or some hydrilla, and you run this through there, guaranteed you're going to get some nice bites out of this. So this is an AI angling, the mag speedworm mold. They also have a regular speedworm mold, a smaller mold down there, but in Florida, if you want to catch the big ones, you go big. So let's get these out on the lake and catch some big ones. Alright, everybody, thanks for watching the bait making portion of the video. Now we are out to the lake, kind of dodging some storms here today. It's been raining off and on. But here's our candy June bug we did the other day, and I have my black and blue down here. We're going to start off with the candy chartreuse June bug. See if we can get a couple catches on this and a couple catches on the other one, and that should wrap up the video. Hopefully, water's cooled down a lot just because we've got a lot of rain today and the last couple days, so they should be biting pretty good. Alright, Texas rigging it. That's how I run these. Texas rig it with a bobber stopper, and I can't remember, I think this is 1/4 of an ounce, but I'm not for sure weight. But since these are pretty heavy, I go lightweight. Just get them on the bottom and just kind of slowly reel them in. Alright, let's get going. Try to dodge these storms here. We got the auto boat, we got the Garmin, front camera, back camera, everything's ready to go. We're going to get out there and let's get some bass. Good one. That's a good one. There we go. Oh yeah. There we go. Right there. Right there on the SMOKIN fins, Magnum speedworm, candy June bug chartreuse. Really good, right there. Come here, baby. There we go. Right there. Right there on the SMOKIN fins, Magnum speedworm, candy June bug chartreuse. Really good right there, baby. Oh yeah, right there. Very nice. We're gonna get it measured, weighed, and then get it right back into the water. And 3/4. go on the black and blue. Three and a quarter inches. Big Sally, but skinny.